Hello everybody, this is my top 5 worst and top 5 best Pokemon starters Gen 1 through Gen 6. They will be rated on design, evolutions, and stats in battle. A little bit of nostalgia maybe mixed into this, but yeah. It's my opinion, so if you don't agree, sorry, I can't really change it. I'll be starting with the top 5 best Pokemon. See ya in the countdown. And number 5 will be Totodile. Totodile is one Pokemon that comes off as being cute, but like really, aggressive looking at the same time. And I'm not too big on Croc. Actually, I like Croc, I just don't like his belly. And once he evolves into Feraligatr, he looks really cool and is pretty good for moveset. His kind of bad, but he's an attacker, but he's a water type, but he's got some moves to handle it, and Harkle's Silver, the split's already out, so he's fine. I haven't used him too much, but I liked him enough, but he just didn't really do too well stat-wise to get in higher, and plus I don't think he's the cutest. So that's why he's only number 5. On to number 4. Number 4 will be our first grass type, Treecko, mainly because I always choose water types, but Treecko was just good enough to actually get on. Now, usually, I never really used Treecko because I just didn't like its design because it's not really cute or anything, but do not let this thing's design hold it back. It is a very good attacker, and it's a perfect sweeper. Its stats are the main reason why it's here. It's got good special attack and good speed. How fastest Pokemon in Gen 3, grass Pokemon Gen 3. So it was basically perfect, even though Sep doesn't look fast. The only downside of this thing is, it's not really adorable or anything, but it does have a cool design, so yeah, that's kind of why I listed it here. I mean, look how speedy Grovyle looks, nice and fast. But then Sceptile's somehow faster, but it looks all slow and stuff. His move pool is okay, but Swords Dance and Leaf Blade to get him up there, and he's good. But Gen 4 kind of nerfed Leaf Blade for him because it's a physical move in that game. Well, on to number 3, and back to the water types like usual. Number 3 will be Mudkip. Mudkip actually used to be number 2 until something happened. Now Mudkip is probably my favorite looks-wise because he's just adorable. Marsh type I'm not too big on, but Swampert I think is just awesome. Now Mudkip's got a great type water ground, makes him really good for the electric gym. He's just the best type for the gyms in the Halloween region, and he's just a badass Pokemon. He learns some great moves. Really cool looking. But the one downside, which I never really bothered me too much, but then I kind of noticed it later on, his stats are good, but they don't really help him much. I mean, I think HP was like his highest instead of other stuff. Now, one thing, I haven't really experienced much of the Halloween Mega Evolution except Blaziken, but Swampert is probably one of my favorite Megas. I mean, look at that. It looks so buff and jacked. I wish I could use it. Maybe I can someday. On to number 2. And number 2 will be Froakie, the reason Mudkip got pushed down. Now, when I first saw Froakie, like, there's no evolutions, yeah, it's just Froakie, I was disappointed. I mean, he looked like he was going to have some old wise frog and be some tank, and by the way of all the fan art, that's what it seemed to be. And I was kind of disappointed, kind of sad. I'm like, this water type's going to suck. But then, Game Freak really did something great for me. When I evolved it into Frogadier, I'm like, whoa, it's not going to be what I don't want it to be. It's going to be a sweeper or something. I was so shocked. I didn't think it could be anything cooler. And I was so happy because I thought I was going to get some stupid-ass old frog. And then, when I got Greninja, bam. Perfect Pokemon. Half dark type. I even got him to level 100. His stats really help him too. High special attack and high speed, just like Sceptile, but the fact that he surprised me makes him a lot better, so. And I just like his design more. So that's why Greninja will be my number 2. But on to number 1. And number 1 will have to be the first Pokemon I ever chose, Squirtle. Now, this is a lot of nostalgia, that's kind of why, and I just couldn't put him down, even though he's probably not the best stat-wise, even though he's actually pretty good. He's a good tank. He's not slow, though, which is really nice. And Squirtle's just adorable, and I love how he is. He's a water turtle. Love that. War Turtle, not much of a change, but, I got the cool feeling, and I always had War Turtle for a long time, and I just like that tail. He's all purple. But honestly, the real deal here is what I like him the most is because of Blastos. I mean, he's just badass. Just having water cannons. Simple as that. Just the water cans make him badass. If you can make that, you can't beat it. I mean, I always love him. But Mega, he's even more badass with that third cannon. I mean, I was thinking about maybe I should put Squirtle down, but I'm like, no, just look at that face. You can't do it. That's why I chose him as my number 1. Now to the top 5 worst. Wait, I almost forgot about my honorable mentions. Chimchar family and the Oshawott family. The only reason why they're not on is because I hated Samura and Chimchar I also hated. On to the top 5 worst now. Bye. Starting at number 5 will be Cyndaquil. I don't really hate Cyndaquil, but here's the thing that 2/3 of the JoJo starters do. They're just boring. Mainly because they're all pure types, but they got really lazy with them. And Cyndaquil will be lower just because well, actually number 5 is the best. I mean, look at it. It evolves into just a fur with like still flames. It's nothing really changes with this Pokemon. All it does is change its body type, and then it still has flames on it. I mean, and then you see Typhlosion. Look at this. Yeah, just flame on your neck. I mean, he's badass, but nothing really special. Stats are good, but kind of a copy of his Charizard, and his move pool's nowhere near as good. So yeah, you would want to pass on him. But he's not the worst. There's worse coming up. Number 4 is that. And number 4 will be Chikorita, another JoJo starter. Now, the only reason why Chikorita is worse, they're both mediocre on looks. But honestly, it's at least Cyndaquil pulled off being cute, and Typhlosion was kind of badass, and he was actually good on stats. I mean, Chikorita was good, but it's just it's a really odd tank. And it has better design, I can tell you that, but not what you going for. I mean, I'm like thinking, like, what could you dual type it with? What it looks like, but I don't really see any potential anyway. And Bayleaf to McJanium isn't much of a change, as you can see here. It's just bland, and also McJanium, the reason why it's a lot lower, its moveset is garbage from using it. I mean, it didn't learn any good grass moves. It just sucked, okay? But number 3 is where I actually start hating these Pokemon instead of just disliking. Number 3 is Fennekin. Don't get me wrong, Fennekin is a good Pokemon. Finally getting rid of the Fire Fighting and make it Fire Psychic, which is a good type, and its stats are pretty good. One problem though, remember when Gen 6 first was coming out, I'm like, ooh, Fennekin might be something cool. Actually, I didn't really think. I'm like, what the hell is it going to be? I don't have any expectations for it. I had no idea. When I saw Brax, I'm like, great, this thing's going to suck. It just looked terrible. I thought it was going to be Fire Fighting, but I'm like, maybe not. Just looking at it, I'm like, ugh. And also, it's not really cute at all. It just looks dumb. Then you get this piece of crap, Delphox. What the fuck is this? It's like got this ugly robe. It just looks retarded. I mean, it's almost worse than having another Fire Fighting. It just sucks. I mean, maybe I'll use it for stats, but I hate its looks. But this is mainly just a disappointment Pokemon. Number 2 is where I start building up some crazy hate for these guys. And right here, my old favorite Pokemon of all time, Piplup. I just fucking hate its stupid fucking face. But I tried to let it go on this one, and honestly, even though I think it's ugly as shit, its stats aren't too bad. I mean, Empoleon's a great tank, even though it's kind of weak. Well, actually, it is weak to its freaking Infernape, which is supposed to be the Pokemon it's good against, which is kind of dumb, but whatever. I've decided not to put it number 1, even though I hate it a lot, because I know it doesn't deserve as much hate as I give it. But look at Piplup. I hate this thing even more, I think. I don't really know. Empoleon's, I don't hate for Empoleon. I think he's kind of fat and overrated. Yeah, mainly because he's overrated. That's why I hated Piplup a lot. But I just don't ever want to look at it again. But there's one Pokemon out there which I truly realized deserves this worst spot, and it makes me hate it a lot more than I used to, even though I did hate it a lot back then. Here it is. Now, you know how Fennekin I didn't really have too much expectation for, but at least it had something going? Snivy I knew was going to suck from the very beginning with that stupid fucking face. Well, actually, I thought it was going to be a Grass Dragon type, but I thought it was still going to be ugly as shit like it was. But guess what? You know what it did, like usual? It disappointed us and became a piece of crap. I mean, people had fan arts were way better than this thing's actual evolution. I think it's Servine, like, what the hell is this thing? And it actually has a higher chance of being male, but it looks like a fucking female. I mean, the fact that this Pokemon is just so pathetic, its stats suck, it's so ugly, pissed me off, low potential, oh, I had shit potential. I mean, there's nothing good about this thing. I mean, look at Superior. It's a shitty-ass Snake Queen King, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be. Just dumb, okay? I will always hate this Pokemon now. And that is the conclusion of my top 5 best and top 5 worst Pokemon. Hopefully you'll agree with me. Who cares if you disagree?